Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for coming back. It's been a long time since we've been live and in person. We don't even know how to do an intro anymore, but
Yeah.
Andrew's just standing up and walking off. Yeah, thanks guys for coming in and checking us out. This is the Triotonic podcast, the anniversary 30th special.
Yeah, the 30th episode.
Yeah, the big 3-0. It's funny that it's our 30th episode because it was kind of like during COVID. It was my girlfriend's 30th birthday and it got stolen from her. So like her and all her friends who were the same age are redoing their 30th this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now that COVID isn't rearing its ugly head anymore, how it was.
Do you think like when you do that though? Do you think like there's still a little bit in like the back of your mind says fucking COVID like really ruined like my true 30th?
I think if you don't drink, then maybe on your birthday, But if you drink a couple drinks, like you probably don't even feel 30 anymore.
Yeah, probably don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't feel 35. I'm turning 35 this year.
Yeah, shit. I am too, obviously.
Yeah, the big 3-5.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that episode in like 2 years from now.
We should do it like since our birthdays are a week apart. We should do it like on the third day in between.
Yeah. A post pre-cap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah, man.
But,
I mean, just to go off on the tangent a little bit about like what COVID has like made us miss personally. Like, obviously everybody wasn't allowed to go to the movies, the concerts, anything like that. But do you think like COVID like took anything away from you personally like that?
Yeah, no, I had a big dream snatched away from me. I mean, I totally got a little dramatic there, but my Olympic dreams.
I wanted to be a fireman, and
God damn it, COVID. No, actually, I had right before COVID struck, I had just received my blue belt in jiu-jitsu, and I was ramping up my cardio to compete in my first jiu-jitsu tournament ever, which was slated for like March 23rd in like fucking Lake Apacon or some shit. I don't know. But I had it up on a pedestal, I'm like, oh god, it's probably just gonna be like in some old guys division or something, like a bunch of white belts, not white guys, white belts, bunch of old white guys rolling around.
Got racial real quick.
No, white belts, old white belts, just rolling around. But yeah, and then we all know what happened March 15th, and then that's it. My competition dreams of were crushed. What about you?
To be honest, I mean, not to be insensitive, to anybody who lost anybody or the people who did lose their jobs or, many of the other fucked up things that COVID could have done. But, obviously I understand that it probably sucked for a lot of people. But for me, honestly, I came out of COVID like better than I was going into it.
Peachy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in some ways I have, in some ways I haven't. I still feel like I have issues. Like, again, I'm going way too dramatic on it, but like when I go to a park and there's like tons of people, like I can't imagine myself going to like a festival right now, being surrounded by people like shoulder to shoulder and just feeling comfortable.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I feel like I still am fucking around with, in my head. But
they said, I think there was like a study done. I heard it on the news that because for so long we've been taught like don't go in crowds, like stand 6 feet away. Like the year isn't that long of a time, but like we're social beings, like that's what we're used to doing. And so they're saying that like after all this shit is done, like after everybody is vaccinated,
after Armageddon,
that it's still gonna take some time for like shit to start picking up.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I mean, not down in like Mexico and Miami Beach, but
Yeah,
I'm saying like maybe like Milwaukee and shit like that. They're fucking still.
Probably like the blue states are probably all paranoid. Red states like fuck you.
Typical blue states.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I mean, aside from what it has taken away from us, what have you gained due to the pandemic?
Nice segue.
Thank you. Just like riding a bike.
I mean, I think like a lot of people, I had a shit ton of time at home with access to the internet. So, I learned a lot about the stock market and stuff like that.
Your right forearm is like double the size.
Yeah, some of that too. No, yeah, but just getting into, I think a lot of people like want to make Robinhood like the enemy after all that GameStop stuff, but I think myself and probably thousands and thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of other people our age during that period probably took it upon themselves to try and teach themselves about the market or what little they could and try and trade. So while they do seem like the fuckheads now, like I think they really did bring about more change than they probably intended to.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people on Facebook that like you have those like friends that you had when you were younger, but you remain in touch through Facebook, and then you still kind of like chime in each other's stuff and things like that. They would be talking about Robinhood, and being that like I know you and I have been talking about investing for like over a year now, and I got into it like about a year and a half ago, 2 years, and I know where they're at because I know when they started, like maybe 6 months ago and things like that. They would be talking about this Robinhood shit and like kind of like painting with a broad brush, you know what I mean? So I'd just be like, Robinhood is a necessary evil, I guess. Like look at us now talking about the stock market,
Yeah.
and and when we didn't know what the fuck what a call or an option was, like
No, yeah, absolutely.
like months ago. So at the same time, yeah, there's always better options. But that's like
Is that
with
is
life.
that a pun?
No, that happens. I don't know why. But I just feel like we owe a little bit to Robinhood just for getting us in the game.
Yeah.
Getting our toes wet.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like, regardless of not if they did some fucked up shit with the payment for order flow and all that, like, I think it was the catalyst, like, that brought a lot of people to the stock market. And the people who were, genuinely interested and wanted to learn more, I think those people are the ones that, like, you're seeing on Reddit now, like, talking about chart analysis and going back and forth. Like, if you read the due diligence on Reddit, it's actually, like, sometimes more complex than the shit I see on CNBC. Like, they're not a bunch of assholes just because we're on Reddit doesn't.
CNBC is like the Todd McShay of, like you've got some real fantasy gurus out there, and then they make Todd McShay look like a doofus, So
Yeah.
It's like, I guess they're really experts, but kind of not at the same time,
Yeah, they're very snobbish. They think they know
it's like,
more than everybody
like Howard
else.
Stern, like how he has like the one lady going against the Wall Street guy, and they're doing what was that segment that he has like the one the one lady picking stocks?
Yeah, he had what's her name? Wendy the slow adult.
Yeah, she picks against, who was she picking against? Oh, one of his staff,
the staffers,
right?
Yeah. They're doing stock picks against, and that's like you said, that's all because of Robinhood.
Yeah, it's I guess like I said, like if someone gets you into something, you kind of owe a little gratitude to them. It's not like it was GameStop and then a few other stocks that got involved, but like I was telling you when it first happened, I'm like, I don't see what the big deal is. Of course, it's just the principle of what they did, but I mean, there's like millions of other stocks to invest in, you know what I mean, that also have a great trajectory, and like like you can get really knowledgeable about, it doesn't have to be GameStop like or bust, Some people were just upset also because that was like their golden ticket and it was their first shot in, you know what I mean? It's like having that like really hot first girlfriend and then now you got to come back to reality.
Well, I mean, they didn't stop anybody from selling it. So if you were in there and you saw that shit starting to crash, like you could have sold out. They didn't stop that. Like I don't know whether or not I believe Vlad's bullshit story that because of the volatility.
I don't believe anything Vlad says.
It looks evil.
But I kind of feel like he did like he was in like a kiddie pool and a little hole popped through and water came and he was just like, oh shit, like he just reacted as fast as he could, and I guess he served his higher makers,
Yeah, I mean, he's not a dumb guy.
Yeah, he had to do what he had to do and quick.
Like those algo traders, the guys who write all the code to like try and beat the market and use arbitrage and shit.
Yeah.
He was one. That's what he did. Him and the other co-founder. They went to Stanford. They were like mathematics majors. They were quants, and then they started Robinhood and just made bank because they took like that social aspect and combined it with that, and it was just like fuck.
Yeah. And plus, they were just taking the little crumbs that nobody knew about, and a lot of things, they were making their money in the beginning. Remember how when we first started talking about, we were talking about it so far ago that like they were like Robinhood was still gaining new features, and being that I was a long-term trader from the beginning, and you were like interested in options and things like that, you were seeing all the new features that Robinhood was providing and things like that, which I didn't know about yet because I didn't care to follow them, you know. And but yeah, even back then, like, you know, they were making money off people's wallets. You know, like if you had money in there that wasn't invested, they were investing it but just keeping it available to you. You know, so
yeah.
yeah. I mean, they're really not dumb guys. You know, that's pretty much making a killing. Because
I think most brokerages do that though. You have to like decide whether or not.
Yeah. No, of course.
And they give you interest for it.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's pretty much when people were saying, because the reason why theirs was such a big deal was because you were paying fees on other brokerages. Remember, they were like one of the first
no fee commission.
Yeah, so that's why. Yeah, exactly. So that's why people were wondering how they make money. It's like they were always making money. You know, like, it's not
You know what's crazy too? Like if you think about their business model, all the shit that was going on with GameStop, BlackBerry, Nokia, all the meme stocks, like they were loving that shit. Because they don't want you to they don't want the users to make, you know, a couple of smart trades and index funds, set them for 5 years, and then come back and check and see where they're at. Like they want people.
They want them
their
suckling
phone.
on the teat.
Yeah, they want people locked in their phone, making like 1.5 million trades a day. You know, and they're taking a penny off each one.
That's why I was telling you I like more the long term, because, you know, it's fun to watch the trades all day. Like now with crypto, that we're into crypto, I'm looking at that shit all day. And it's fun. It's way less intensive than the stock market, I think, but it's also a little cooler at the same time. It's newer, you know, like, sorry, I gotta crack this. But yeah, the long-term aspect, I liked it because I knew, all right, I don't care that this dipped a little bit today because I know where it's gonna eventually go because I did my research on the stock, you know? And that's why I was into the long-term. But as far as like you getting into options and things like that, like what is your whole perspective been about that? Like from what you read on Reddit and,
I mean,
the trades you've done.
As far as the trades that I've done and how I learned my way, because like I saw it like this. I made like a decent amount just
doing money the flyway.
I had like a nice cushion with all like the shit that I did from March until the summer. So I used that and I'm like, look, fuck it. If I lose some of this money, whatever, it's a learning experience. I feel like I've learned all that I can, you know, just reading and looking at shit online. Now I have to do it. Like trial and error is the best way to learn.
Yeah.
So
that sounds like when you like have a one night stand and you don't use a condom. You're just like, fuck it. If I get the clap, you know, I gotta go to the doctor, I guess. I don't know. But I learned something.
What would be the never
the
mind.
equivalent?
What would be the like financial
the percentage
equivalent?
loss of each STD value? Oh, all right.
The clap is probably like what, like 15%?
Yeah, 15. Yeah, there's way lower.
You can get like some antibiotics and shit.
Average down.
So yeah, I mean, my perspective on options is, which a lot of these people on Robinhood were doing. They were just buying long shot calls, like buying crazy out of the money calls, just like throwing a few $1,000s on it. Like it's pretty much like playing the lottery,
or like putting your money on like a 1,600 underdog on like college football or something. You know, like
exactly.
Yeah, like you're just betting on like fucking North Nebraska Christian or some shit.
Exactly. I have no idea who that school is.
Yeah, I made it up.
Yeah,
so that's
But yeah, that's exactly what they were doing, and it just so happens that because of that short squeeze, a lot of people got fucking like rich off that. But honestly, like 7 out of 10 times buying calls or buying puts, you're gonna fail. It has like a very low success rate. The best like strategies I find are like selling the credit spreads or buying the stock and selling the stock, or you can do it's called a poor man's covered call, where you buy like a deep in the money call and then you sell against it you buy it for like 6 months and then you sell it like every other period in between there.
I gotcha. Yeah. I like your hand motions that you do when you discover options.
This is 6 months.
Sell it every 6 months. But that's great though. Yeah, I mean, that options are very interesting, and I definitely anyone watching this podcast, if you have any questions about stocks, we can help you out as much as you want. Just shoot us some text. We're by no means any fucking gurus or anything.
Wait, this is not financial advice.
Yeah,
I just wanted to say that.
One of those. That's the first time we've used that, but we have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, as far as getting started, we are way past that point, and we could definitely tell you what not to do, and what to do, and with your strategies, and then you can make your own informed decisions from there. Yeah, like I said, I'm more of a long-term guy, so I just look at, like...
There's definitely some shit that I'm in for the long haul on.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I feel like this market is so volatile. Like, if I have shares in a stock and say it's at like $50 and I see it's falling, like, why the fuck am I gonna watch it fall to $35? Why not just I'll take it out, and then when it keeps falling lower, then I'll just buy back in.
Yeah, that's what I tell people, and we've discussed this, I mean, all the time. That's what I tell people that, like, people are always worried, like, oh, I'm going to put all my money in the stock market and lose it all. I'm like, that's like 1970s, like, talk, you know what I mean? Like, you'd have to, like, send your money, like, cash to, like, a broker, and, like, they'd do it.
With the keyboard?
Your money would disappear. And you have, at the tip of your fingers, you could take your money out at any time. If you see, you could set stops where, like, if your stocks drop at 10%, you're out and you're clean, and then you have your money in your wallet where you can make an informed decision the next day and, re-strategize. Like, there's just no reason why no one should be investing, even if it's on a small level, you know what I mean? At least becoming more literate about it.
Yeah, financial literacy is definitely important.
Yeah.
Especially now, like, with everything going on with, so much money being pumped into our nation, the money supply is, like, gigantic. The Fed says we're not going to see any type of inflation, but I don't know. I think the government.
I think that's inflation. What they're full of it.
They're inflated with bullshit.
Yeah, they're inflated themselves. They're full of gas.
Yeah, I mean, I think the government always tries to keep people calm. So even if like we were heading for like 4 or 5% inflation, I don't think they'd be like, look, shit's gonna get bad. You just need to look out for yours. Everything will be fine. People would lose their fucking minds.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I think as far as the financial stuff, we're going to get into a lot more stuff like that when we meet up. But one more thing I wanted to say is definitely also people to get more into learning about cryptocurrency, because I think a lot of companies are going to start, countries, pretty much they are companies, but
yeah, they are.
pretty much companies that own a lot of land.
Yep.
But
probably even less powerful than the other companies we were talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And all these companies, even top companies like Google and things like that, they're going to start dumping assets into cryptocurrency and things like that. So I think you should really read up on it. We joined Coinbase, but there's a lot of other good options out there. I like Coinbase because it does have as a part of it, you get to learn through videos and get some free money, even though it's like $6 here and
that
$6
adds up
there.
though. I've gotten like $20 so far.
Yeah, and at the same time you learn what cryptocurrency is. So check out Coinbase and yeah. But aside from that, I know the baseball bats just started cracking, right? Yeah, the baseball season just started, and it's been beautiful so far. Even though the Mets haven't played yet, so Lindor hasn't.
Oh yeah, what happened with that?
The Nationals, they have like a COVID scare.
Yeah, but like, do you know how many players exactly?
I think they were at 4 when they canceled the series.
And there was like some staff, right?
Yeah. It's a wild outbreak down in Washington, but I think it's like a Washington problem.
How does that happen just in Washington?
Yeah, because other teams too, or I guess the NBA and stuff like that. Just the culture down there, they don't give a fuck. They're just storming the Capitol and shit.
Just going to Comet Pizza, shooting that shit up.
Yeah.
Just kidding. That's not a joke.
Shooting it up with pepperonis. But yeah, no, the baseball season just started. Andrew and I have a fantasy baseball league, which is his baseball league, but we're a part of it with a bunch of people all over the nation, predominantly in Texas.
Yeah,
and they were not happy about the snowstorm.
Yeah.
I don't mean to laugh like that.
That's some fucked up shit.
No, yeah, but I mean, they were talking mad shit before.
Oh, no, yeah.
So
they were making a joke out of it. What I'm saying is that was a fucked up situation. Like that kid that froze to death in his own bed.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, just make
shit got serious
real quick. I'm just laughing. You're like, the kid froze to death. You fucking monster. But yeah, no, I mean, you want to have your own power grid. You got to come to the, don't bring a knife to a gunfight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to bring the power grid,
You know what's crazy is fucking one of the dipshits from Texas was like trying to blame the New Deal.
Dipshits. Oh, the Green New Deal.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
That's what Elazar was talking.
Elazar, yeah.
But it hasn't even been passed yet. They're like blaming it on something that hasn't even come yet.
Yeah, that's typical Texans.
Like, how do you not?
That's
know
like
that
sounds just like a Cowboys fan I know. Shout out to Ray Ray. Yeah, he's telling me that Dak's ankle's gonna be fine this year. I'm like,
You don't think he will?
Nah, hell no. He won't be the same.
Well,
I mean, I wish him all the best. I'm not wishing any bad.
he's got a Dak Prescott voodoo doll.
A doo-doo doll.
I was hoping you did.
Yeah, you got that doo-doo doll. Yeah, but first off, fuck the Cowboys. Who's ever watching this? If you're a Cowboys fan, shut this off. Nah, I'm kidding. But Giants forever.
Dolphins.
Dolphins. No, I like the Dolphins this year though.
They're making a lot of good moves.
Yeah, Brian Flores.
Yeah.
He's Latino, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think he's from Brooklyn.
Is he? Damn.
Brooklyn or the Bronx.
I like that guy more
Hank.
every time I hear about him. Yeah, he's doing good down there.
Yeah.
You guys got a lot of picks,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh man, maybe 2030, right? No, I'm kidding. No, but it's looking good. Last year,
I'll keep it real. I honestly, I don't know how I feel about Tua yet. Like, he looked good in some games, like those. I think it was the first 6 games where he went like 4-1 or 4-0 after Fitzy started to. But afterwards, man, like he had like zero confidence. He was like afraid to throw the ball. Then he had that foot issue. Like, what if this shit keeps happening? I don't know.
yeah, I like Tua, but I feel like he's got that thing where like sometimes he's just fucking on like really well, and then like he's hot and cold, But when he's on, he's like really special.
Yeah, but is it gonna be the same kind of special in the NFL though? College and NFL is 2 different things.
Yeah, I never give up on people like that because Peyton Manning's first like couple of years were really shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I think nowadays in the NFL, sports in general, maybe people are very quick to give up on young guys. Like, if it doesn't happen in like 2 years, it's like fuck, like he's done.
Yeah, that's definitely a big problem.
Coaches too, I think.
Yeah, it's yeah, I mean, coming back to the baseball season though, I know you wanted to change the subject because the Yankees situation, but how do you feel about your team?
I mean, look, I think offense obviously still strong. That we don't have an issue with the bats. The pitching is the big question mark, so we'll see.
I feel like I'm listening to the fan right here. the W fan. But no, yeah, I mean,
was that like 98.7 or something? What is it?
I don't know. I forgot.
No, 101.9.
Yeah, 101.9.
Remember when that used to be the rock station?
I don't.
It was like WRXP. Matt Pinfield used to be on.
Oh, yeah. Matt Pinfield. Shout out to Matt Pinfield. You're lucky I don't have my soundboard right now.
Oh, yeah. What happened to that?
I mean, it's still out there, but...
Shout out to the...
the old soundboard. We're in a more simplified setup now.
Yeah.
Because it has been over a year and a half since we had that.
Yeah.
But,
hell yeah.
Then there was the hell no.
Oh, yeah. Hell no.
Yeah, so, yeah, man, I mean, I'm over here with my chiladas, my equilibrium.
Some Smirnoff. It's Easter Eve. Gotta do it right.
Yeah, Easter Eve. You gotta have the hangover for Easter, so when you have your first drink, it's like the hair of the dog, That's how you glide in to the 3 p.m. Easter,
Yeah.
The perfect landing.
I've had some crazy ass Easter Eves.
Was it ever the Easter Eve that? What was the? No, I think that was Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We had a very bad Thanksgiving Eve.
That was Thanksgiving.
I mean, a lot of people, you know what? That's a big night, a big party night. So I think a lot of people could relate to that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we had one for the ages.
Yeah, that was a crazy ass night.
Yeah, man. But let's change gears before we talk about that day. I know you wanted to touch a little bit on our new president.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, just not to get too deep into it, but like, do you, on a gauge of 1 to 10, 1 being like Trump, 10 being like FDR, so far, where would you place him on that spectrum?
Oh, man. Put me on the hot seat right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, we've always gone.
Okay, so 1 being Trump.
Yeah.
And you said your 10 is FDR?
No, 10 just being FDR, just because, I mean, he was the president that brought us into the golden age of the country.
I got you. You just meant like a good
Yeah.
stint.
Yeah.
All right, good presidential stint. I don't know. I mean, I feel like not only like his performance should be factored into that, but also like where he brought us from where we were at.
Yeah.
So I would go with like a 6. I would go with like a 6. You know, he's still working on a lot of the stuff he promised.
Yeah.
We did get those fucking stimulus checks that
Thank
everyone was
God.
waiting for. Yeah.
Shout out to the
Yeah.
IRS.
Yeah, shout out. Even though my mom's still waiting on her shit, so
Oh.
get your shit together.
Yeah. Mail those shits out.
Yeah, Ruth needs her check, bro.
For me, honestly, I think there's a lot more that he can do, but I would probably agree with you in between 5 and a 6.
Yeah, I feel like this is kind of like equivalent to some things I see in like my like one of my jobs. Like there was like a really bad manager, so the new manager has to come in, and not only is his responsibility to keep up with the monthly goals and hit those numbers, but he's also got to do a lot of damage control on the previous years of all the damage that's been done. You know, so that takes, like, you're only one person and you're only one team. You can only allocate your resources to just like a percentage of both. But when you have a bad president, you gotta some of that's gonna take away. You know, So I feel like I can't judge him here. I'm gonna judge him on his second 4 years.
Do you think he runs again?
Hell yeah, I think he's gonna run again,
Bro. They're gonna have him like it marionette strings.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
No, I mean, has he done great things for us so far? Absolutely. You know, tenfold more than what Trump did in his whole 4 years, probably, than, you know, his first 100 days. But even still, I think Biden is a little too centrist for me. You know, that's why the market didn't really go anywhere when he won and Janet Yellen was the supposed appointee. Everybody was fine with that because they're so like she's very Wall Street friendly.
Yeah, I think that was a good choice by him. You know, like I think maybe he knew that it would just keep it stable, because a lot of people were expecting for the market to crash. You know,
yeah, because they thought that he was gonna put crazy taxes on everybody, that he was gonna.
He still did though a little bit. He put some sanctions, right?
Sanctions?
You said taxes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant like basically like affecting it by like I guess world policy. You know?
Oh, you mean like the Chinese shit?
Yeah, exactly. Because
Yeah,
I know that also affects the stock market too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that he was gonna come in and kind of like be soft on China when he didn't. He came in and was like, nah, we're gonna maintain everything that the former administration did. So
he just flipped it on them real quick. That's probably that China Joe got to him, maybe. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna show you China Joe.
What's crazy?
Fucking GI Joe, bitch.
What's crazy is that shit like didn't affect Trump in the slightest. Everyone was like, oh, Russia won you the election. He's still fucking sucking Putin's dick. Like nothing changes.
Yeah, he definitely is. Yeah, I mean, he's been really laying low. I know that, not to make this about Trump, but we didn't even have Trump on the list of things we should talk about. But I know that he's starting a social media platform, right?
Well, do you know what the
have
name
any
is?
details?
No, do you?
Oh no, I don't give a fuck. I'm just kidding.
I do remember hearing that Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy,
Mm-hmm.
that psycho was starting a social media platform. I'm not sure if it's the same one and they're working together, but yeah, basically this was his description of it. It was like, imagine if Twitter and YouTube had a baby.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So what if Twitter and YouTube had a baby? That already exists, I think.
Why would that would be incest because it's like
Incest. Yeah, I mean, it already is on Twitter. Like,
That's
there's videos on Twitter.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's why I'm so happy. You know what? Even just not hearing those people have like such a big voice anymore is just worth it. Biden winning, you know, just that is a 10 for me.
Yeah.
So that averages Biden up from all the shit he hasn't done yet.
Yeah.
You know, so
And
my god.
I mean, even regardless of the policies of Biden's that I disagree with, like the fact that like he wanted to get back into like the climate accord shit, he wants to get back into the nuclear deal. Like Trump was heading like fucking as fast as possible, just as like nuclear war or like just destroying the environment. He had like no regard for anything.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was a big like turn off. That like, and I feel like that fell on like, didn't really affect the older generation. Like they didn't give a fuck because they're like from the coal generation. Like they're fucking
boomers
taking trolleys to school and shit. So they didn't give a fuck about green, green energy and shit like that. But yeah, he fucking reversed all that shit real quick, and that was not fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why it was just an accord, not like anything that was bound by law, is because when Obama went to Paris to try and negotiate that, is when we had the Republican-led Senate, and Senate wouldn't allow anything to be done. So that's why it was like a handshake deal. Everybody was just like laughing, like, yeah, sure. You know, nobody really did anything.
Yeah. Good job, Obama. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, man, what a crazy world. Some of the shit that's happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But, you know, a lot of times when politics just gets you down, especially, I mean, not lately. I've been feeling so good lately.
Yeah,
I remember
used to be.
when there was like the whole like Bible fucking
the photo op?
yeah, the photo op. Oh man, I was like every day it was like something, you know, like just
Dude,
some
like,
fucking nugget of hate just dropping in Twitter and like, oh my god, it was terrible.
That shit could affect your mental health, absolutely.
No, yeah, I mean, I felt a weight lifted off my shoulders when like Trump was not president anymore, you know. I just felt like half of my friends were just feeding into it, you know, and just like, and you know what? One thing that blows my mind is how much their voices just kind of dissipated when he lost the presidency. It's crazy. Like, it just shows that how important it still is to be president. Because I really haven't heard much of Trump, what the fuck he says, anything. Like, he just disappeared. And maybe that has to do with the L he caught. Like, he just caught an L and he just scampered away, you know?
Yeah. He was humiliated.
Yeah, but I mean, I would have thought he would have still ran with having such a big fan base and things, you know?
Well, I mean, I think that's what he's doing. I guess after the 4 years, they kind of whooped his ass. He wanted to just, like, chill out.
Yeah. Take a sabbatical real quick and just, like, recharge.
Probably.
Yeah.
Then he's going to come out and try and make more money.
He can't go to Epstein Island anymore, though. But, you know, he killed him off real quick. No, I'm not saying Trump killed him.
Yeah, what were you... Was it you I was talking to about Ghislaine Maxwell?
No, it wasn't me.
Oh, no, someone else. What do you think's going to happen to her?
Oh, no, she's untouchable.
You think so?
Yeah, hell yeah. After they killed Epstein, she's the new Epstein.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Might as well call her fucking
New
Ghislaine Epstein. Yeah, she's the golden ticket. She knows everything. She could make whatever the fuck she wants up because she's the last living closest member. You know what I mean?
Black Weinstein.
Black Weinstein. Yeah. Comes back. AKA, just to shout out, Black Weinstein is Bill Crosby. Or no, Bill Cosby, not Bill Crosby. I don't want to get sued over here. Bill Crosby.
No, not what?
Somebody's got a fucking Google alert on Bill Crosby. Yo. Just call him up real quick.
You just see a guy named Bill Crosby right now just furiously typing.
Yeah, he's fucking, what do you call it? He's a fucking steel guitar player. Fucking. But, no, yeah. Black Weinstein is Bill Cosby.
Yeah, but supposedly her father was in the Mossad. He was like this big, huge operative.
Oh yeah, and so that's why Epstein and her flourished, because they used some of that intelligence to bribe some of
Connections
the,
and shit, yeah.
like I guess doctors and
Fucking Prince Andrew.
yeah, yeah. You can't get more prestigious
Yeah.
than Prince Andrew. I mean, you could get the king, but
Well,
the
cool.
king ain't gonna fall for that shit. He's the king for a reason, He's not.
I was listening to a podcast about that shit, and they said they used to call him Randy Andy.
Oh man.
He had like a reputation in Britain. Like, so everybody in Britain's probably like, this fucking piece of shit. Like, they probably know.
That just reminds me of like Austin Powers,
Randy.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, I'm so glad we're getting past all of that. Right now, I have more time to focus on like the more important things, like getting back from COVID and things like that. But what are some of the things recently that like you used to keep your mind off like these powerful subjects? Like any good movies or documentaries you've been watching?
Oh. So yeah.
QAnon.
Yeah, exactly.
Just go right back into it. Yeah, I've been keeping my mind off of it very much.
Yeah, so just so everybody knows what we're talking about, there's a documentary on HBO, QAnon. What is it, like Down the Rabbit Hole or something?
Yeah, Down the Rabbit Hole.
Or no, like Through the Storm. Is that what it is?
Into the Storm.
Into the Storm.
Yeah, Into the Storm.
We didn't go through the storm. We went into the storm.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this journalist follows the money, trying to figure out like who exactly Q is, if it's a bunch of people, and it's actually a pretty interesting documentary. Aside from that, Paramount Plus, like we talked about, I've been watching a lot of like the Smithsonian documentaries. They have like a lot of good like in color World War II shit.
Yeah. You got very Smithsonian apparel today. Yeah. I like Paramount Plus. I just signed up myself as well. I'm also a fan of some documentaries, but I'm not gonna lie. These past like couple months, I've been like knee deep in like scary movies. And like
I can't wait for the new Conjuring.
Yeah, and a lot of that stuff, like a little. I used to be heavy into like let's say like The Conjuring and all that stuff, but lately I've been getting more into like the ritualistic type of movies. Like
Hereditary.
Well, Hereditary, yeah, it's very ritualistic, but that one also has a lot to do with possession.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like Wrong Turn, Apostle, movies like that. Yeah, you should definitely check those out.
That's with George Clooney, right?
Yeah, and also of course Midsommar.
Oh yeah.
That's yeah. No, wait, which one is with George Clooney?
Wrong Turn.
No. Well, there's all right. Side note: there's like 19 different Wrong Turns out there, but
Oh really?
yeah, I'm talking about. I think this one was in 2019. There's a lot of really good movies aside from that I've been watching. But just yesterday, The Dark and the Wicked. Bro,
What
I have
service
not
is
been
that on?
that scared. I don't know. I think it's still in theaters. I'm like a fucking pirate over here. I watched King Kong the other night, but
Oh yeah, that was good.
it was very good. Yeah, they even threw some conspiracy theories in there with the whole Hollow Earth shit.
Mhm.
But that was really good. I think the whole Hollow Earth thing made that movie because it just gave it some depth. But yeah, The Dark and the Wicked. If you into like some scary shit and you believe in like possession and like some kind of like dark energies, that's a really good movie.
Have you seen Clooney's new movie, Midnight Sky?
No, but I've heard some stuff about it, but I don't want it to taint my judgment.
No, I haven't seen it.
You haven't
but
seen it?
I've,
No.
I've been hearing good things.
So my friend's dad watched it, and he's like, if you want to watch something and not know what the fuck's going on for 2 hours, watch that movie. He's like, I enjoyed it because I didn't pay attention the whole time, but it was good to look at.
Sometimes those movies are tough,
Yeah.
especially nowadays. Like, especially with Parasite. It took me like a year to get through Parasite because if you turn
Great
away
movie.
and you can't read the subtitles, you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Now, you know what fucked me up? I couldn't find one with English subtitles.
Oh,
Because
what the
a lot of
fuck?
times,
Yeah.
a lot of times when you get the rips
Yeah.
on the Fire Stick, they rip them from other countries.
Mhm.
But when they rip it from India, it's got Indian subtitles. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm opening every link, and then finally I found one in English, and it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's on Hulu now.
Yeah, that's.
That Train to Busan that I watched last week was pretty good too. South Korean movie as well. Was it like a regular?
You said there was a cast member from.
Yeah, from Parasite, the son.
The son?
Yeah.
Oh, he was good.
Yeah. It's like a typical zombie movie.
The father was really good, and I forgot what movie I saw him in.
Yeah.
He was in another movie that I saw.
Like it's called The Taxi Driver. He's been in a lot. I think he was on like Time.
Yeah, he's like a prestigious actor. Yeah. He's like a Liam Neeson
Of South Korea.
South Korea, yeah. Oh man.
Lee Neeson.
Neeson Yoon. Yeah, but
Yeah, let's stop Asian hate.
No, it's it's Asian love.
Yeah, nothing but Asian love.
We were actually. It's funny. I talk about Asians all the time. Just the last podcast we did, I want to shout out my other podcast, Words Are Tough. The reason why I'm talking about Asians was because Dave brought up that he had like a phase where he was like really in love with Bjork.
Oh yeah.
And I told him, yeah, I love Bjork too. And then he said that he thought that she was Asian when he first was young,
Yeah.
But then he found that she was Icelandic.
Yeah.
And then I was talking about how I feel like if you like you mix like the Inuit with like basically like like Swedish Nordic type, you kind of get that Icelandic. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
It's almost like like the Alaskans and like Inuit, like kind of. They're almost like Native Americans of the snow, like that's how I view them.
Yeah, but also I feel like they may have like walked there back when maybe
the
not
land bridge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the land bridge.
Yeah,
from
Asia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, and then you know what that actually reminds me. I don't know if we've talked about this in another podcast, but I remember one day my dad I guess he came across in a YouTube hole. He one of his first YouTube holes, and he's like, "Yeah, well, you know that Russia borders Alaska." And I'm like,
"No, you said you could see Russia."
Yeah,
right?
you could see Russia from Alaska.
You telling me.
And I was just like, fucking like wipe the whole table off. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, I saw it on YouTube, and I'm like,
skunked them.
Yeah, I know skunked them. Oh man, I'm like, everything on YouTube isn't real, but. But you could see Russia from Alaska.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure at some points you can.
And you know who said that? It caught mad slack.
Sarah Palin.
Yeah, Sarah Palin. Yeah, the people were like, "What a dumb bitch!" the whole time. Like,
well, that's because the context of what she said it in.
I know, but if you put
they asked her if she knew about like foreign
in an
policy.
ocean of bullshit,
Yeah.
Just imagine someone just in the press conference popped up. That's actually true. That one. But nobody wanted to go to bat for her anymore.
Nah. She was.
They were just there for the show.
Exactly. She was easy on the eyes, though. That's why everybody. That's why nobody had a problem with her.
I know there was like some, like some spin-off websites about her.
Yes.
Like, there was.
Yeah. There was a lot of those. Even what's her face is Tina Fey.
Yeah.
She did a good job.
She was a maverick.
Yeah.
Right. Maverick.
Yeah, Maverick.
Oh man, where's she at? What's she doing?
I don't know. I read somewhere that like her husband divorced her, and that like.
Oh, what a dick.
Yeah, there's like some shit going down with that family now.
Yeah. Didn't she have like 8 kids?
She had a lot.
Yeah. I mean, up in Alaska,
I mean, what else is there to do?
I want to go to Alaska too, though. I heard there's a lot of like. I mean, I don't even hunt. I'm talking about. There's a lot of good hunting up there. I don't even hunt, but. Yeah, no, I heard there's like tours, they bring you on the tour.
Yeah, sure there is.
Just, like, watch people hunt and shit.
Yeah, there's a Canadian, I don't know if you want to call it like a settlement, but it's part of Canada technically, but it's like right in the middle, I think, of like some part of like the Northwest Territories or something. You're not allowed to have any alcohol there. So dudes like drive through whatever border there is. They get alcohol and they bring it back in like a $350 bottle. They'll get like $300-400 for it.
Damn.
Yeah. Because like we were just saying, like they came from like, well, their descent is very similar to, the Asian continent. So they lack that same enzyme in their liver that processes alcohol. That's why I'm sure you've seen Native Americans. They have a lot, like a high instance of alcoholism.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the same thing. They don't have the thing that breaks it down. So like a sip or like a shot like would fuck them up, and then becomes like a huge problem, obviously, because like when somebody's not exposed to something their whole life, it's like new. It has like that,
Yeah.
the whole psychology of it. But yeah, it's the same thing with the Inuit as far as that whole alcoholism goes, and meth too. I think there's like a huge meth problem.
Yeah. Would you ever do like you know what I've been watching a lot with my girlfriend, that like challenge show.
Oh, the MTV one, right?
She's into like all those shows, like the Challenge, like Survivor, and all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, would you ever do what? Not so much. I wouldn't do a challenge because I'm not a very good swimmer, and they mix it up, like land and sea. So I could not do any of that. But
It's just like,
yeah, just losing that challenge real quick. But no, I mean like more like Survivor. Like actually, you know what? There's a different type of thing, like where there's this foundation where like you can say like you want to make money, I guess, raised towards homelessness and things like that, and then you go out with a bunch of people and you sleep out on the street, things like that. Like where you would survive out in the wilderness for a few days. Like, would you ever do anything like that?
I mean, look, if it came down to it, like for some charity, I would much rather sleep on the streets of like a city than in the middle of the jungle.
Okay, so you prefer the concrete jungle?
Yeah.
All right. No, I could see that.
I mean, at least I
prefer
know
like
it's there,
maybe like some other homeless dude just piss on me or some shit, then get a rattlesnake.
Wind up in the
bite my neck.
Wind up in the water cooler at the Cecil and shit.
Yeah. Yo, I actually just brought up the Cecil like the other night. This hotel wouldn't shut, and I'm like, yeah, when you want the shit to, you don't want the shit to shut. It shuts in like 2 seconds, but when you want the hotel to
the elevator.
When you want the elevator to shut, it's like Cecil Hotel in this
Yeah.
bitch. The shit won't shut. You're like pressing the button. Fucking elevators. Oh man.
Bro, I used to before cell phones, and even a little bit after we got cell phones, I used to get shit scared going on elevators.
Really?
Yeah,
You're one of those people?
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Just what runs through my head is like the shit's gonna break down like in between floors. It's gonna like be pitch black.
It happens.
Nobody's gonna know I'm here. I'm gonna be fucking panicking.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the movie Devil?
I've heard about it, but no, I never watched it.
There's that, and then there's another thing on Hulu too, like that series that they do, like I guess like 30-minute horror.
Oh, the Bloomhouse things. Or whatever it is?
Yeah. There's one about an elevator too. It's pretty good actually. What the fuck? Got fucking reggaeton gangsters outside my.
Damn, that's loud.
That's loud as fuck.
Jesus.
Yeah. There goes the neighborhood.
So yeah, being locked in an elevator like that, and then falling off a bridge into like a body of water, and getting stuck in my car and like drowning that way. So anytime I go over a bridge, I always like crack the windows a little bit, because I heard somewhere, I forget where, that if you fall into the water and the doors and the windows are shut, the water pressure won't allow you to open the doors.
I just picture you in the car, like, just trying to open the door. No, yeah, but you gotta have a plan. That's the worst part, is not having a plan.
See?
That's the worst part. Yeah, I would just make like I have like a little
They have things.
yeah,
just
little
like,
hammer thing.
yeah.
Like yeah, that's what you.
You
know
just
what
gotta
I
hit
did?
it in the sweet spot.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, what I found out, spark plugs.
Yeah.
The little porcelain on it.
Yeah.
They break like an entire window. Like if you
Uh-huh.
just throw the porcelain at the window, what the fuck is that all about?
I don't know.
That's like some.
I think it's like chemical. It has something to do with like the chemicals of the, or the. To be honest, I really don't.
Some Bill Nye shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
like
some shit like that.
yeah, because I remember somebody told me, they're like, bro, just chip a little piece off the spark plug and throw it at the window. The whole window shatters. Like we've done it. I mean, I'm not putting anyone on blast. We've done it a bunch of times. Let's see. Let's see what. Yeah, shout out to Equilibrium. This beer is amazing. Energy equals.
Where'd you get those?
We go to what's it called? Something Shoppers Vineyard in Clifton, New Jersey. Shout out. That place is pretty good. They usually have all the IPAs. They have Delirium. I actually grabbed this because I thought it was Delirium, but it was Equilibrium. So, but it's still good. I like these double IPAs.
So here it says it. When thrown with moderate speed at a side window, a sharp shard of the exceptionally hard aluminum oxide ceramic used in the
Sounds like an Aesop Rock fucking freestyle. Sharp shard, throwing really hard.
All right, so yeah, exceptionally hard aluminum oxide ceramic.
Good.
It focuses the impact energy into a small enough area without blunting to initiate cracking, releasing the internal energy and shattering the glass. So because it's so hard, it like focuses all the energy into like one fine area. I guess that's what does it.
Okay.
This makes sense though, really.
Yeah. Speaking of one fine area, do you remember that song back in the day? What's it called?
One fine area.
No, yeah. It reminds me of something like that because all the songs, like when we were young, it was like a Euro dance hit, like when when you like it was used to be called trance and shit like that.
Yeah.
It's a Fine Day. Do you remember that song?
No.
You don't remember that song? ATB?
No.
Oh damn, that's really throwback. But
I remember like Alice DJ.
yeah.
Fucking remember Zombie Nation?
Oh, Zombie Nation. Yeah, that's a classic. That
Yeah.
was in like FIFA Windows Edition, like 98.
FIFA was the shit.
Yeah. I remember the first FIFA I owned, I played it on a compact Presario. You remember those computers?
Yeah.
That was like the Dell of back in the day.
Yeah, Jeff had one. And
Yeah, shout out to Day Potion.
and that's where we recorded like all of our funny ass skits when we were younger on that compact. And so when he got a new computer, he didn't want to throw it out. He like kept it in the closet.
Bro, I still have all my towers.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I still have all. And you know who I talked to actually? I mean, not to drop names, but someone named Kenny. That he knows how to retrieve like info off your old data.
Oh yeah?
But I kind of, I kind of want to get the device myself.
Yeah.
You don't,
Yeah,
you
you
know
don't
what's out
never
there.
know.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what's out there. Fucking
Ex-girlfriends on there.
yeah.
Shit starts wind up, circulated on the internet.
Yeah, you never know. Fucking old transcripts of fucking AIM chats. Yeah, fucking. Oh my god, my nephew. Like when I think about him, I'm like, oh, you don't even know, bro. Fucking AIM, fucking AIM like away messages.
Yeah.
And shit, he doesn't even know.
Yeah.
His shit would be like Travis Scott lyrics and shit. Ours was like, I don't even remember.
Yo, did you ever used to hide shit in your profile? Like, do you remember you could make the background a certain color?
Certain color, yeah, and you
And
could
it-
highlight it, and then you'd see like certain words, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of shit like that. The HTML life.
Bro, let me tell you one thing that me and Steve did. It was kind of fucked up, but we were young, We didn't know any better. We were just living the life, having a good time. So, these group of girls that you've met before, I won't say what town they're from, just so they'll remain anonymous.
Just text me who it is.
Yeah. Obviously always used to come over to my house and they'd sign into their aims. They'd be, go in and, have their fun or whatever. And they would cycle because obviously nobody had cell phones back then. You just wanted to sign into your aims.
See what
who
everyone was
messaged
doing
you.
and shit. Yeah.
So we put on a key spy.
Oh, shit. So you could capture that password.
Yeah. And we got all their passwords. We went in and changed their names and their profile and put fucked up shit
Oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys at least did some not so bad shit. But I mean, I don't know what you put in the profile.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you later.
Okay. All right. But you know what? I had.
You'll probably be happy since I think I recall you saying you're not too fond of one of the people anymore. So.
Oh, great! I already know who you're talking about
Yeah.
instantly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and with the said Kenny that I talked about with the
said Kenny.
Yeah, said Kenny with the retrieval of the data.
Yeah.
That kid, me, him, and another kid that you know from Garfield High School. Shout out the Boilermakers. We were. I wouldn't say we called ourselves like a little hacking syndicate type of thing, but we just did it and we all did it together, and we did it separately, but we just knew we all did it, So, we had like all the IP shit, the port fuckers, all that kind of stuff. When it was like 56K and AOL.
Yeah.
So we would hack people and we would send them like a picture and they'd download it and that's it. Like we'd have complete autonomy on their computer and like remove their Windows start button and shit like that. And then one day there was this girl, Heather, that we all wanted to hack or whatever. And basically there was like 10 of us, just like you could basically, when you have someone's IP, you could see through their computer camera. So we were seeing her, like, and she's like typing whatever.
No.
Yeah, no, yeah. We really hacked her really good. But then when like you invite too many people in on it, and then one person's just an idiot.
Blows it for
Yeah, blows it for. I mean, we weren't trying to get anything crazy, but we were just like, holy shit, we actually hacked her, like that was what it was. And then somebody decided to print something like, we could see you or something like that. And bro, she freaked out, understandably, but we were kids. We were like 12, 13, She freaks out. Next thing we see, like, we're still watching on the camera because, no reason to shut it off. Yeah. Her dad comes on the computer. He's just like fucking going ape shit. And we're just laughing so hard. And it was
just
so
like hitting
funny.
buttons, like just trying to fucking.
Yeah, it was so funny. But he was like, "Yeah, we could see you, this, that," and it printed on her printer. That's how simple it was to like dominate like old computers. You know what I mean? Like we could you just click a picture that we sent you, and we'd have full control.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, hacking is really crazy. That's why people take down like now power grids and shit. It's fucking insane.
I knew somebody who shall remain nameless, obviously, who used to send me like huge lists of people's information. They would have like first name, address, credit card number with the expiration.
Social. Yeah.
There was no social. Just names.
For legal reasons. I don't know about that. I never seen no socials. Ain't nobody sent me no socials. But yeah, continue.
It was just crazy though, and the shit like all worked. Like after a while, I was like, "Yeah,
all worked."
I was like, "I don't want none of this shit, bro."
Yeah, send this shit back. Send this shit back.
Yeah, man, shit was crazy. I got another story about that too. I'll tell you when the cameras are off.
Oh man, yeah, it's been good. As far as like, doing another episode in person.
Yeah.
What do you think, like, now that I guess people are, I mean, COVID seems to be like ramping back up, to be honest with you, from what I'm reading.
How is that? Like, how is our vaccination program doing so well, but then cases are increasing? Like, I don't understand.
Because I think people feel like vaccination is almost like stealth. It's not. You still get COVID, but you just don't die from it if the vaccine works.
Yeah, they said, I think the Pfizer-BioNTech one said that they're 80% sure that you wouldn't feel any effects if you did contract COVID.
Yeah, and that's a good thing, but that doesn't mean, this is the thing I tell people, it doesn't mean that you don't get COVID, and it doesn't mean that you don't pass it on to people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. What they're saying is you don't feel the effects.
Yeah, exactly. So, I don't know. I mean, I've dodged it for this long, and I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to wait as long as I have to.
Same.
But I just don't want to wait too long where I get it and I didn't get vaccinated, But at the same time, I also don't want to do it in the window where it's not even fully cleared, like the full process, like, because you never know what the side effects are.
Yeah, I mean, but when will we ever know? Like, besides, 20 years from now, 10 years from now, will we ever know? Like,
that's what I was telling someone else too. I'm like, there's could be things that are latent, like 10 years later, I fucking grow a fucking left nut on my toe.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was just one nut, why would it be the left one,
No, but some serious shit could like come from that though.
No, I know.
Crazy.
No, for sure. It's true. I commend people that already took their vaccines.
Me too.
'Cause
have you heard about the shit going around about the dead babies and the vaccines?
No, I have not.
So, I was talking to somebody in my family who's very religious. They're Catholic, follow everything to the T, that the church says.
They got their ear to the street, though.
Yeah, yeah. Surround like their entire life is like devoted to doing religious shit or like serving in some capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was telling me, he's like, I'm not gonna take the vaccine because they're saying that they use the cells from the aborted babies.
Oh.
And I'm like, what?
Nice.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? And at first I'm like, you're out of your mind. I'm like, stop believing what you see on Facebook. So then I went and I started doing my own research, and they didn't use the aborted babies to make the vaccine.
But the cells that are in the vaccine are something they could get from the aborted babies.
No, so what they did, they tested it with cells that were from the cell line of the aborted baby. It's like millions of replications removed from the actual fetus, but they still are. It's the same cell line from the aborted fetus in the Netherlands, I think. So I mean, it's not like there's baby juice in the vaccines or anything, but like you hear that, it's still a little off-putting,
Yeah, and then basically, do you think there's like a line drawn? Like, do you think they're aborting babies for the vaccine?
Well, no, this abortion was from the 70s.
No, wait, hold on. I'm just saying, what I'm saying is, once they decide that this is the vaccine, they're not like aborting babies to get the juice. It's just juice from babies that are already aborted. Like what?
Well, no,
that would affect
the only reason that they needed the cells was to test it. They're through the testing. They don't need no more baby cells.
Okay, but what I'm saying is they didn't abort a baby to test it.
No.
There's just babies already aborted.
No, exactly.
Okay.
But I guess how certain people feel is if you benefit from that at all, it's kind of like guilt by association.
I think this is a little reach.
I'm just saying that's how people feel.
No. I know. But of course, and I feel like there should never be any type of like farming of any kind. Even with animals, it's kind of shitty that
industrial
happens.
Farming.
Yeah, and this would be a case like if the vaccines had something to do with like baby
farming.
Yeah, like they'd be like just aborting kids, just
like the Matrix.
Like that's. I don't know. I feel like that would be really bad. But if it's like, I guess babies that were already aborted, and it was just the testing being done with the cells.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's a very scientific line that's drawn.
Abortion is like a very tough subject.
Oh yeah, no, it's very complex.
Yeah.
And me as being like a male, even less, I feel like I have less of a say with anything when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Just because a lot of girls have to go through some involuntarily, some voluntarily, and even both sides have tons of valid reasons, and it's so complex.
It's like I always found that to be very contradictive to a lot of the right wing folks. Like they say, I want my freedoms, this, that, and the other. But then like, I say like, you don't believe abortion is permissible because of your religious beliefs, correct? And obviously they'll say yes. God tells us to treasure every life, yada, 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 whatever the case may be. I'm like, okay, so, but in the United States, there's separation of church and state, and you're not allowed to, like, force your beliefs on somebody else. Like, so, if religiously, like, there's nothing stopping somebody from doing that, then, like, why do certain people feel the right to try and impose their beliefs on other people,
Yeah, it's tough. That's what they say, like, about people with pro-life, and then, a lot of people try to get, like, I guess a lot of NRA members that are pro-life and things like that with the gun laws and abortion, because it's, like, kind of contradictory.
Yeah. Like, an adult life doesn't matter, but a baby's does?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, man, that's why Patrice O'Neal is so fucking great, man. He has that bit about how, like, him being, like, a black man. Like, he's like, anytime I go out on a boat, he's like, I'm going to fucking put a little white baby on a keychain. He's like, so if I go down in this boat, he said, they're going to come looking for that white baby. I'm going to be fucking attached to that shit.
He was great, man.
Yeah.
Remember, we saw him once
Yeah, we
the
did.
Traveling
Traveling
Virus.
Virus, yep. Yeah. That was fucking great. And then we saw, who was it? Mike Birbiglia.
They got booed off stage. Yeah.
That was kind of keystone moment for his career, you know, like.
Bro, he bitched out completely.
Yeah, he was like fucking. Well, he came out and just came straight up with a racist joke, you know.
No, he was like very PG.
No, wait, what was it that he exactly said?
It was something about his sweater. Like somebody said,
No,
"Why are you wearing
I
a
think-
sweater? 90 degrees out."
No, I think it was like he said something. You know what? I think he went reverse with the racism. He said something about like, kind of like about being white or something like that.
Oh man, I don't know.
And then he just got booed off stage, and everyone was just like, "Oh, you suck."
Everyone was like, "Bring out Jim Norton."
Who
then
else did we see that? Oh,
Jim Norton.
Jim Brewer. Remember he
Jim Norton.
closed? Yeah, secret.
No,
secret-
Norton closed.
No, he was the secret. The what do you call it? The secret guest.
Jim Brewer.
Yeah, Jim Brewer was. Yeah.
Because I know Jim Norton closed. 'Cause
Yeah,
that-
he closed, but then they brought out the secret guest or whatever, and it was.
I remember him doing the Metallica shit. That was hilarious.
Yeah. He was great. He killed.
Who else did we see on that? There was what was his name? It wasn't Jeff Dunham. It was the other guy that does the puppets, Otto and Jeff, or Otto and something else.
Yeah, I mean, we went to so many. Wait, wasn't Louis C.K.
That was the Oddball.
Oddball tour? Yeah.
That was great, man. I don't know why they stopped doing that.
Yeah. I mean, it just didn't get. I guess it got so big, but they didn't have enough like firepower on the next ones
Yeah, maybe.
to get like a full nation, like nationwide tour.
Have you watched Bad Trip on Netflix yet?
I don't think so.
Dude, you have to watch that. Everyone I've told about it, I've told about it, has like texted me back like, yo, I was crying. Like,
What was that?
it's Eric Andre's.
Oh, the new show. Yeah.
It's actually a movie, but I would say it's like a mix between like Jackass, Bad Grandpa, and his show. Like mixed.
His
into
show
one.
was kind of like that though.
Yeah.
The Eric Andre show. Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd like do some crazy shit and like fly through a wall and shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's crazy, man.
Yeah, that's when he was with Hannibal Buress.
Yeah.
And I remember going to Brooklyn. Hannibal Buress used to host like a weekly Brooklyn show, and it was like I think on a Sunday, and we used to go out to Brooklyn. This was I'm talking like 2010, before Hannibal Buress like he was on that show, but like that show wasn't even big, you know. And he'd do that bit about Crosby again. There you go.
Cosby?
Cosby, yeah, Bill Cosby, and we'd be like, "What is this Cosby shit?" He's like, and we just thought it was like a weird, like, funny joke, like, kind of angle. But he'd go in on it and like be really passionate about it. Be like, "Damn, I guess he knows some shit that we don't know about."
Yeah, he's the one that
Then
like brought it
years
to
later, like after, like maybe 3 years after we saw him, like we used to go every week almost. And then, because he was one of my favorite comedians, and like before he blew up, and then like 2 or 3 years later, it really gained steam. Like I guess fucking Vanity Fair or somebody wrote an article on it. It's usually Vanity Fair or somebody writes an article.
I listened to the podcast about the whole Cosby shit, and they specifically say like Hannibal Buress was the one who like really brought it up into the public conversation.
Yeah, he would do it all the time. He would do that bit all the time.
It's crazy.
And we'd be like, damn, like he hates Cosby. Like what is?
It's kind of fucked up that like.
How did he know?
Yeah, and nobody else did anything about it.
Yeah. How did he know? Like that's how you know that everyone knew.
Yeah.
Because he knew.
It's fucked up.
Yeah. Maybe he knew somebody that it happened to, and that's kind of how because he's really a fifth degree of Kevin Bacon to Cosby, I think, right? Like he doesn't come from like a family where like his father was like some executive producer, you know.
You don't know that, do you?
No, yeah, I do. I definitely do know that. But he's not like from like a showbiz fam, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, he probably still has. Look, in Hollywood, I'm sure people talk, just like how they say everybody.
But I mean, at that time, he wasn't in Hollywood. That's what I'm saying. When we used to go see his show, he was like.
But what I'm saying, like, if he's a stand-up comedian, he's talking to other stand-up comedians. Like one night, somebody's just like, "Yo."
He wasn't big then. That's what I'm saying. That was like his shit from like the beginning. Like we didn't even. It was years after we saw him. We used to go with other people like from our group of friends, and we'd see him at like Brooklyn Bowl, but like the one in Brooklyn, not the one in the Manhattan. I mean, not Brooklyn Bowl. Knitting Factory, but the one in Brooklyn. That's where he would do his weekly show.
So then, how do you think he found out?
That's what I'm saying. I wish I could ask him.
Like, I'm sure, like, probably, like, one night somebody who just heard it from somebody, like...
Yeah, but to go so hard, like, you wouldn't... If you heard it from somebody else, you wouldn't know if it's true. You know, that'd be like hearsay.
Yeah, but, like, the shit that he was saying was all public knowledge shit.
But well, it wasn't really till years later, until the cases came out.
No, but what I'm saying is, like, if you went and looked up those cases after somebody gave you a heads up, you could find that if that happened or not. Like, nobody just had an inkling to look it up. Like, on an off chance, you're not going to be like, hey, let me find out if Bill Cosby has any charges, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, you know what else? I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like he really knew somebody that, I mean, that was affected. That's what I think. Because his energy on that was, like...
Hateful?
Yeah, like, he wanted some shit done. And he got it done.
Yeah, I mean, I think maybe he got off a little easy. I think he only got charged with, like, a couple of...
Yeah, I mean, he's also, like, fucking 80 years old, too. Same thing, like, with...
Bernie Madoff?
No, not Bernie Madoff. Fucking, what's his name?
Weinstein?
No, not Weinstein. On HBO, the documentary.
Oh, Woody Allen.
Yeah, Woody Allen. Yeah, he's gonna get off easy too. Because I mean, now what is he like?
98.
Fucking yeah, he's like 98, and now this shit came out on HBO.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please, don't. If you don't, just don't even watch that.
See, but that, like, I feel like him, Cosby, even Weinstein to an extent. Bernie Madoff, like I was saying, like, I feel like when you've done fucked up shit all your life and you've benefited from it, you know, your personal ideas that you've benefited from it, if you got to do like a few years at the end of your life when you're probably going to be shitting your pants anyway in prison, like, yo, would you have taken Madoff's quality of life and then just done like the last 5 years in jail?
I don't know.
A billionaire?
No, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like you're selling your soul. You know, there's so much to say as far as like your time here. But
don't get all fucking Hallmark on me.
You never know, bro. When that light goes out, you know, Bernie might be falling somewhere way further down, you know, than we think.
What do you think he's like in fucking doing black magic?
He's coming back as like a fucking slug or something, you know, like if there's reincarnation, you know, if there is the
afterlife,
you know, he might not be going to such a pretty place.
Oh,
yeah. All right, well, I think now with that profound the place we're taking it now, I think this is a good place to end the podcast. It's been a nice wild first ride in person. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yep.
I can't wait to watch this back.
Yeah, it's been fun.
It's been fun. We will see you.
It's great to be back, and hopefully we'll see you guys again soon.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Later. Triotonic.